Namaste, my beloved friends. As we move beyond the first half of 2026, one thing begins to stand out very clearly. From June onwards, the planetary atmosphere starts becoming far more supportive, far more rewarding, and far more hopeful for many of you. Yes, the solar and lunar eclipses will certainly bring their own karmic intensity and moments of emotional and spiritual churning. But apart from those eclipse periods, the phase after June 2026 appears much more positive, much more growth oriented, and much more fulfilling than the first half of the year. The transit of Jupiter in Cancer and the transit of Rahu in Dhanishta Nakshatra after June 2026 are indeed strong signs that for many souls the wheels of life will begin to move faster in the direction of growth, success, opportunities, movement, and good fortune. The heaviness begins to reduce. The path begins to open. Delays begin to loosen their grip. And for many of you, life itself will begin to signal that a new momentum is now building in your life. And so, in today's podcast, let us go deeper and understand how Rahu's transit in Dhanishta from 2nd August 2026 is going to impact each one of you. Because this is not an ordinary transit, this is a transit that can bring ambition, action, movement, courage, opportunities, and for many, a much faster rise in life. Now, my beloved friends, before I take you deeper into this very important transit, let me first clarify one important point so that the understanding remains precise and clear. In this podcast, I am covering Rahu's transit in Dhanishta Nakshatra only, that is till 5th December 2026. And during this period, Rahu will transit only the 4th pada and the 3rd pada of Dhanishta Nakshatra, because both these padas fall in Aquarius sign. The 2nd pada and the 1st pada of Dhanishta falls in Capricorn, and I shall be covering their deeper impact in my next podcast once Rahu leaves Aquarius and Rahu enters Capricorn on 5th December 2026. Now, from 2nd August 2026, Rahu begins his transit through Dhanishta Nakshatra. And this is indeed a very powerful shift. This is not a soft transit. This is not a passive transit. This is a transit of movement, ambition, speed, action, hunger, performance, pressure, courage, risk, rise, and karmic intensity. Rahu in Dhanishta does not like stagnation. Rahu in Dhanishta wants motion. It wants result. It wants impact. It wants position. It wants significance. It wants the sound of achievement. Rahu's mean node transit reaches Dhanishta 4th pada on 2nd August 2026. And then Rahu transits 3rd pada on 4th October 2026. And then on 5th December 2026, Rahu enters 2nd pada, which is in Capricorn. And if I have to capture the whole essence of Dhanishta in just one word, then that one word is Karma Yogi. Dhanishta is the highest peak of Mars, where Mars is focused on getting the job done. Capricorn is anyhow a highly ambitious, practical, and career oriented sign. And when Rahu moves through Dhanishta, there arises a certain hunger to prove oneself through action, through performance, through execution, through visible result. This transit can produce doers, leaders, movers, decision makers, pioneers, strivers, and people who want to be seen not merely for what they speak but for what they accomplish. And always remember this, the most powerful leadership tool you have is your own personal example. That is the secret of Dhanishta. Dhanishta does not respect empty talk. Dhanishta respects action. Dhanishta respects performance. Dhanishta respects stamina. Dhanishta respects delivery. It is a no nonsense nakshatra. It likes to come to the point. Its question is always, what is the bottom line? Meaning, say clearly what you want to say. Do not waste my time. Do not pretend. Do not decorate weakness with language. Just say it, do it, and move. And yet, my beloved friends, whenever Rahu enters such a fiery, ambitious, action-oriented field, one must be very alert because Rahu intensifies whatever it touches. Rahu does not move with moderation. Rahu amplifies desire. Rahu magnifies appetite. Rahu increases longing. Rahu creates urgency. And when Rahu operates through Dhanishta, it can create tremendous ambition, a strong craving for achievement, intense desire for power, impulsive decisions, dashing action, dramatic turns in relationships, and a life that moves at a very high speed. This is why I say Rahu in Dhanishta can produce great success, but it can also produce dangerous excess. It can create leaders, but also make them restless. It can create rise, but also sudden downfall. It can create extraordinary courage, but also impulsive action. It can create fame, but also fatigue. It can create command, but also conflict. This transit must therefore be understood with great maturity. Dhanishta signifies the male lion who has had his share of meat and is now relaxing. There is power here, there is confidence here, there is conquered territory here. There is a sense of I know what I want. And when Rahu moves through this field, that instinct can become more aggressive, more ambitious, more strategic, and more hungry for movement in life. And so the deeper spiritual lesson of Rahu in Dhanishta is this: work intensely, but do not become possessed by ambition. Lead boldly, but do not become intoxicated by power. Move fast, but do not lose awareness. Rise high, but do not forget your soul. Because ambition is useful only up to a point. Beyond that point, ambition begins to consume the one who carries it. Remember this. Remember these words, and I say this to my close followers. Ambition is a bottle of poison, but the label on it says it is pure nectar. That is Rahu in Dhanishta. Now, my beloved friends, before I take you deeper into this very important transit, let me first clarify one important point so that the understanding remains precise and clear. In this podcast, I am covering Rahu's transit in Dhanishta only till 5th December 2026. And during this period, Rahu will transit only through the 4th pada and the 3rd pada of Dhanishta, because both these padas fall in Aquarius. The 2nd pada and the 1st pada of Dhanishta falls in Capricorn, and Rahu enters Capricorn only on 5th December 2026. So the entire sharing in this podcast is focused only on the impact of Rahu's transit through the Aquarius portion of Dhanishta, that is the 4th and 3rd padas till 5th December 2026. Rahu's transit in the 4th pada is the opening phase of the transit. Here Rahu begins activating the field of Dhanishta with full force. This phase can bring restlessness, speed, ambition, sudden career thinking, aggressive planning, and the desire to move ahead at any cost. For many people, this phase can feel like an inner engine has suddenly switched on. One may become more impatient with delays and more determined to make something happen. This is a highly action-oriented phase, but it is also a phase that can make one impulsive, and that is why awareness becomes essential. For Aries moon sign, this can activate gains, social networks, recognition, and ambitions. Your circle may change, your goals may become bigger, but choose meaningful gains over ego-driven gains. For Taurus moon sign, this strongly touches career, public image, authority, and status. The desire to rise can become intense. You may feel called to take charge, but remain ethical while doing so. For Gemini moon sign, this can activate Dharma, higher direction, long-term vision, travel, teachers, and philosophical clarity. Ambition may now seek a larger purpose. For Cancer moon sign, this brings transformation, sudden developments, shared resources, psychological depth, and karmic intensity. You must slow down emotionally before taking big decisions. For Leo moon sign, partnerships, marriage, business alliances, and one-to-one equations become highly activated. Relationships can become dynamic, dramatic, and at times impulsive. For Virgo moon sign, work routines, health, discipline, service, and conflicts may become intense. This is a strong time to become highly organized and action driven. For Libra moon sign, romance, creativity, self expression, children, and speculation become active. Love may feel dramatic, fiery, and fast moving. For Scorpio moon sign, home, family, property, and emotional roots are activated. You may want to restructure your foundation and take stronger control of domestic matters. For Sagittarius moon sign, communication, courage, effort, self initiative, and practical execution become powerful. This can make you more direct, bolder, and more result oriented. For Capricorn moon sign, money, speech, family values, and self worth become strongly activated. Material ambition may increase, but keep your values intact. Don't get carried away. For Aquarius moon sign, Rahu now energizes your own self expression, identity, body consciousness, and personal hunger to move ahead. You may feel more ambitious, more magnetic, and more driven. For Pisces moon sign, subconscious patterns, hidden fears, spiritual churnings, foreign links, and isolation become active. Your action must arise from clarity, not anxiety. Remember this. And so, the first phase of Rahu's transit in the fourth pada of Dhanishta teaches one thing very clearly. Action is powerful, but action without awareness becomes aggression. Now, Rahu deepens the Dhanishta energy. Rahu transits the third pada and the speed increases inwardly. The desire to prove yourself, the desire to achieve, the desire to conquer, secure, rise, influence, and dominate can become more stronger. This is where many may feel that life is demanding more courage, more leadership, more decisiveness, and more risk taking. This phase can make people highly professional, highly focused, highly competitive, and very conscious of their position in life. And this is also where one must ask, am I working from purpose or am I being dragged by blind ambition? Because Dhanishta can make one highly capable, Rahu can make one highly hungry, but hunger without wisdom becomes self-destruction. For Aries, gains and ambition can accelerate, but the right people matter more than a bigger crowd. For Taurus, career matters become serious and defining. Leadership opportunities may arise, but so can pressure and politics. For Gemini, your vision of life may expand. You may become more purposeful, more daring, and more willing to take bold steps. For Cancer, emotional intensity and karmic transformation deepen. Do not make impulsive decisions in moments of inner storm. For Leo, partnerships can become intense, passionate, confrontational, or highly karmic. Clarity is essential. Meditate more. For Virgo, work, enemies, stress, health, and daily burden may intensify. Channel the fire into discipline rather than irritation. For Libra, romance and creativity become charged. Attraction can arise suddenly, intensely, and dramatically. For Scorpio, domestic decisions can be bold, fast, and consequential. Avoid ego battles within family matters. For Sagittarius, speech becomes sharper and more forceful. You may become highly persuasive, but use your words consciously. For Capricorn, financial ambition can become strong. This is good for strategic effort, but avoid greed driven moves. For Aquarius, this is a very powerful phase for identity, self projection, leadership, and ambition. Others may notice your drive more strongly now. For Pisces, your hidden world becomes active. Restlessness may increase if you are not spiritually grounded. Meditation becomes essential, so meditate more and more. And so, during the third Pada transit of Rahu in Dhanishta, speed may win the race outside, but only stillness wins the race within. And Rahu in Dhanishta must never forget this. And so, the last two padas of Dhanishta Nakshatra belong to Capricorn, and I shall be speaking about their deeper impact in my next podcast after Rahu leaves Aquarius and enters Capricorn on 5th December 2026. And so, my beloved friends, Rahu in Dhanishta is not an ordinary placement. It is dynamic, it is dashing, it is bold, it is strategic, it is ambitious, it is restless, it is magnetic, it is result driven. It is professionally sharp, it is highly capable of making a person visible, influential, active, and socially or materially significant. But the same force can also push one into impatience, impulsiveness, pride, dramatic love, dramatic conflict, risk taking, aggression, overwork, and shocking reversals. And that is why such a transit must be handled with a higher understanding. Dhanishta is deeply connected with execution. Rahu is deeply connected with craving. When execution and craving combine, success becomes possible. But when craving exceeds wisdom, downfall becomes possible too. That is why I say Dhanishta Rahu must keep a check on ever growing ambition, because unchecked ambition may prove fatal to life. You must work, you must strive, you must grow, you must do your karma. But do not allow ambition to become your master. A karma yogi works intensely but remains inwardly detached. A worldly ambitious person works intensely but remains inwardly enslaved. This is the difference. And that is the real spiritual test of Rahu in Dhanishta. And now, for my close followers, there is one beautiful story that must be told. Because whenever we speak of Rahu in Dhanishta, we are not merely speaking of ambition, profession, leadership, power, rise, and bold action. We are also speaking of the danger hidden inside unchecked desire. We are speaking of that subtle poison which the ego drinks while believing it to be nectar. We are speaking of the restless human tendency to want more and more and more without ever pausing to ask whether that more is truly leading toward fulfillment or merely deeper bondage. And so listen to this very carefully, because this is not just a story, this is a mirror. This is a warning, this is wisdom, This is exactly where Rahu in Dhanishta must bow down and reflect. Once it happened, a young man, and his name was Ikayu, came to seek the great divine master Lao Tzu's blessings. He said, "Master, I am happy as I am. I am a very ambitious man and I do not want to be enlightened. Please bless me to fulfill my dreams. Everything is possible through your grace." Lao Tzu smiled and said, "Ikayu, this is not the right place for you to be. You have fallen in a wrong company." Ikayu was taken aback. He said, "Master, I am novice. Kindly help me understand what you mean." Lao Tzu said, "First you say, I am happy as I am. A happy man is never ambitious. There is no need for him to be happy if he is ambitious. Or if he is happy, there is no need for him to be ambitious. Both things cannot exist together. If you are happy, ambition disappears. If you are ambitious, you are miserable. Only in misery, ambition grows. Ambition simply means you are not happy the way you are. What dreams do you want to fulfill? That means the reality that you are living in is not giving you contentment. It is not enough. You want something more. Only a miserable mind wants something more. The very idea of the more is out of misery, but you seem to be very unconscious of your misery, or maybe very cunning. You don't want to recognize it, you don't want to confess it. You say, I am happy as I am. That is possible only if you are enlightened. And the enlightened person has no more any dreams to fulfill. He is finished with dreams. Not that all his dreams are fulfilled, but he has come to know that dreams are dreams and they cannot be fulfilled. He has come to see the utter futility of all dreams, of all dreaming. He is awake. Dreams can exist only in sleep, but he is awake. But if you are happy in your misery, then I will not disturb you at all. It is your life. You have to decide about it. If you want it the way it is, remain as you are. Why have you come here? Ikayu started shivering. He realized that a true master is a lion and not a cat. He said, I am sorry, but why is it that I am afraid of enlightenment? And Lao Tzu said, you are afraid of enlightenment because you have become clear about this. That if you want to be enlightened, then this ambitiousness has to be dropped. This is a barrier. Ambition means ego. Ambition means continuous effort to magnify your ego, to go on puffing it, to go on making it bigger and bigger and bigger. Hence, you are afraid of enlightenment. Ikayu touched the feet of the master and said, Master, I am ashamed of my ambitious nature. You have opened my eyes. I pray that you bless me. Lao Tzu raised him up and said, I cannot bless your dreams. I can bless you, but not your dreams. and I can bless you so that you can be awake, so that you can come out of your dreams. This ambitiousness, Ikayu, is sheer stupidity. It is monkishness. My beloved friends, this is why this story had to be told. Because this is the exact danger of Rahu in Dhanishta. Rahu in Dhanishta can make you powerful. Rahu in Dhanishta can make you bold. Rahu in Dhanishta can make you visible. Rahu in Dhanishta can make you rise fast. But if awareness is absent, it can also make you run blindly. It can make you mistake speed for fulfillment. It can make you mistake position for peace. It can make you mistake ambition for purpose. It can make you mistake outer power for inner worth. And that is why one must remember, a karma yogi works from consciousness. An ambitious ego works from inner poverty. There is nothing wrong in wanting to do great work. Remember this. There is nothing wrong in wanting to do great work. There is nothing wrong in wanting to excel. There is nothing wrong in leadership. There is nothing wrong in achievement. But there is everything wrong in becoming a slave to ever growing ambition. So, to all my close followers, I want to say this from the depth of my heart. During this Rahu in Dhanishta transit, do not only ask how high I can rise. Ask also what is driving me to rise. Do not only ask what can I achieve. Ask also, will this achievement deepen my consciousness or only decorate my ego? Because in the end, the real victory is not merely reaching the top. The real victory is reaching the top without losing your soul. May this transit of Rahu in Dhanishta give you courage in action, clarity in decisions, discipline in work, maturity in ambition, and wisdom in success. May you become dynamic without becoming destructive, powerful without becoming arrogant, ambitious without becoming blind, and successful without becoming spiritually empty. Jai Sri Ganesha, Jai Guru.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.